Okay.
Yeah. And do a roll call vote.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call today's June 4th, 2024 school committee into session, and to do that, I'll do a roll call vote. Heather? She's online. Heather, can you hear us? Well, in lieu of that, Julia Lagerholm, present. Heather, you there?
I'm texting her now.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's under the weather today.
I mean, honestly, it's impressive that it's taken 3 or 4 sessions to have a Zoom problem, so it's fair.
I think she's just not feeling too well.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
All right, we'll get started. Yep.
Yeah, we'll start.
I'll let her.
Hey, Heather, can you hear us? We were just doing a roll call vote. It was me, myself, and I.
Yes,
Okay.
All right.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Heather Moore is present.
Excellent. All right, Dr. Vieira?
All right. We'll try, usually look, Greg's always sitting over here. And
Surprise.
muscle memory,
Yeah.
you're over here.
Yeah.
We'll turn it over to you, Craig.
I guess I'll turn it over to you, James.
Sure, yeah, so, good seeing all of you. I had a couple back and forth with Attorney Pagnini over email, so I know that you all are expecting a counter proposal today. So I do have a package counter from what you all proposed last session. I want to start with just kind of a reminder of sort of the framework that DESP was put on the table and sort of where we started here. When we began to bargain, we actually requested to start bargaining in August, and the district wanted to hold on for some time, so we began to bargain in February. And in our first session, we presented the sort of core priorities for the union: staff safety, environmental safety, and a livable wage. And at that point, we shared our first 4 proposals, which you've seen repeatedly. Most of them have been rejected by the district, and we've sort of kept bringing them back regarding mandated reporting for environmental issues from staff and back from the district, additional pieces regarding staff safety, workers' compensation, and all of that. And we also shared where this came from. We had surveyed the membership just prior to bargaining. We had about 75 or 80% participation. And out of the membership, 90% of them who took the survey said that they'd experienced physical or verbal assault at work in the last 2 years. 60% of them said that they saw physical or verbal harassment at least once a week. 80% of them were concerned that students were not getting their full special ed services due to understaffing, lack of timing, lack of resources. And on the bright side, about 50% said that the district was doing good work, especially in IEP meetings, to support students, but that unit members were not necessarily invited to those meetings and didn't have time to support them there. Beyond that, most staff reported that they were having difficulty paying bills, working a second or a third job or more. And currently, right now, the top pay for a non-degree para is $16.32 an hour. That is about $20,000 a year, which for anyone who has even one dependent or child is within 100% of the federal poverty level. It's quite literally poverty wages for a lot of staff right now. So there was a real major issue to be addressed. And last time the district provided a pretty significant movement with wages, which we really appreciate, but our stated goal at the beginning was to get all staff over $30,000 as a starting pay rate, and with an ability to get to over $40,000 through advancement. And the district's last proposal just doesn't touch that at all. And it's a pretty substantial change, right? Going from 20 to 30, 20 to 40, we're talking about, in percentages, 100% increase. But we're really just talking about trying to get people, again, out of these poverty wages. Today, we're going to be making some pretty major concessions in our package proposal. We do have a package response, and our wages for that, instead of getting everyone to start at $30,000 by year 3, they're at least getting everyone in the range of $30,000 by year 3. It's still significantly more than what the district had proposed, but it's significantly lower than where we are. Part of that also includes annualized wages. The district continues to allege that annualized wages are not legal. That is not true. There are a lot of districts around that do annualized wages. We found an alternate solution that we're going to propose today that is frankly just adding a bunch of holidays to help people spread out their pay. But for someone like Jana at the current rate of $16.32, in a normal 2-week period with 70 hours of work, she should be making about $1,142 and taking home less than that, around $950. Jana, last February, after February break, what was your actual pay?
Let's see. $685.44
As a gross.
as my gross.
And then what did you actually take home after health insurance and withholdings?
$223.49 for 2 weeks.
So this is what we're trying to avoid. Annualizing would do that, adding holidays would do that, but right now, not only are staff deeply underpaid, around holidays and school breaks, they're also taking home a quarter of what they should be in a normal 2-week period. And that means that in addition to balancing multiple jobs, which a lot of the folks in the unit do, they also need to budget ahead proactively so that when they get a paycheck that only includes pay for a few days, they're ready for it and it doesn't completely break their bank. I will share a wage proposal at this point, and I just want to talk about that a little bit more before I put the other ones out. Would you mind handing that over there? Thank you. Our wage proposal is really simple. We took the last proposal from the district, and we added 4% to all of the numbers in FY25.
My eyesight's not good enough. That's how it's-
And if I can just interrupt, I'm taking a picture right now to send to Heather Moran, so she
Great.
can see.
Great.
Sorry, James, go ahead.
No, it's all right. And when we go to caucus, I'll happily send you the files.
Thank you.
Thanks.
But the district's proposal last time for hourly rate, we just took the same proposal. We added 4% to all of the items in FY25, and then let the spreadsheet do the work. So, the COLA is the same, the adjustments are the same. The other difference, which we'll share in the rest of the proposal, is that we are proposing to add 11 paid holidays, which would bring the total paid holidays up to 19 per year. And with the combination of 11 paid holidays, a 4% increase in FY25, and then the other increases that the district proposed, that would let a top step para reach a yearly earning of $30,365 by FY27. This is, again, a large increase from where the district was, but we are frankly still worried that it's going to be enough to retain people. Right now, this year, someone could go and do the job of a para in Uxbridge with a high school diploma and be making $33,000 a year on an annualized pay basis. That's one of the ones that the district brought up last time, but I believe just kind of put a star next to and didn't fill in. But without a high school degree, a para can make up to $33K. And that's with, I believe, 7 built-in vacation days, and then they have the ability to earn more as they go through. And among the comparisons that the district gave us last time, there's actually an average of 22 benefit days available to paraprofessional staff in a combination of holidays and earnable vacation days. So for example, in Blackstone Millville Regional, they get paid for 12 holidays and they can earn an additional 11 vacation days. In Bellingham, they get paid for 11 and a half holidays and then they can earn an additional 23 paid vacation days. So when we're talking about 19 paid days for this unit, paid holidays, for this unit, it sounds like a lot, and it is a significant increase from where we are right now with the 8 that the district offered. But it is the only way to come anywhere near that level without seriously increasing the base hourly pay. And it is really not out of line with what other folks in the valley are doing right now.
Do you have that in writing?
Sure.
Okay, is it part of the proposal?
No, but I can give it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
The Uxbridge data
No,
or the
no,
overall
no,
benefit
all
days?
you've said about what you're proposing here, 11 days, 19
Sure.
days, is that all part of the package proposal?
The days for this unit, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not the comp
Yeah,
data.
I'm fine with I can research
Yeah,
Uxbridge.
yeah, that's in
Thank
here.
you.
As we were sort of grappling with this, the other sort of thing we wanted to flag out is that, again, why we keep moving away from talking about percentages is because the folks in this unit are just paid so poorly right now that percentages are not really a useful metric. You know, Attorney Pagnini's firm, Brody Hardoon, can't remember
Come
the
on, get there.
Perkins Kestrel.
You did it. Oh, you're so close.
Kestrin.
Keston.
Keston. I know the standard rate for the firm is $300 an hour. I don't know if that's the exact rate that you get paid, Greg, if you'd like to enlighten us for that,
That
but
is incorrect.
that the firm makes, I know that the firm charges $300 an hour.
I don't know where you got that, to be honest.
From Keston's report to a judge like 4 months ago.
Yeah, so that was in just that case.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what's the rate that we pays here?
It all depends. I mean, having said that, I don't know what that has to do with,
Sure. So the regular rate for your firm,
Here we go.
that we've pulled elsewhere, again, $300 per hour. That means that in 100 hours of work, the district is paying for an entire para's year for legal services. If you have a lower rate, we can do the calculations. I don't know if you guys get a district rate. But the amount of money that's kind of spent on other things in the district is really massive compared to para wages. And we really need a significant increase in these wages to keep people here. So with that, let's do the full package. I'm gonna pass these out again.
Sure.
Great. And if you've got a lower rate, Greg will happily run the numbers. Do you know what the district pays per hour for BHPK?
I can look. Again, I don't think it's germane to the conversation here.
I mean, we're talking about the relative worth here.
Yeah, but James, this is like
Hand them up?
Yeah, please do.
incredibly.
So here is a visual, just in case.
Okay, I was gonna
This
finish.
is a
but I
copy
don't
of my paycheck. This shows my paycheck, December vacation, and February vacation. And there is what I take home. Would you like to live on that? Would you like to pay my bills?
I don't think we need theatrics, Donna. for this.
Yeah, I-
Theatrical,
I-
it's a real honest
It is
question.
real, it is a real reality of what it is, but
Right.
again, when people signed up for the job, they knew what the rate was, they knew what the hours were, and they knew what the responsibilities were for everyone, for any position across the United States of America, any job that anyone takes, myself, you, an auto mechanic, a plumber, electrician, an attorney, you know what you're getting paid, you know where your hours are, you know what your gross and your net salary is.
So you had a staff member just recently resign after less than a month of work from this unit, who, for our understanding, got no legal orientation from the union, got no orientation from her boss, and got no orientation from the district. I would contest that in a case like that, someone does not actually have an understanding of what they're signing up for. And that really is what we're talking about here, right?
I don't think we
Same
want to
thing-
get to the particulars of that
Same thing,
case.
no, same thing with the issue about the injury stuff.
You're using an outlier to try to prove the rule, right? You just cited someone who had worked for all of a month to then
Yep.
try to make the case that everybody doesn't know what they're signing up for, which is not the case. We're talking about
The specifics of this unit.
We're talking about positions and a position within a system and then the market rates that apply to it. Personalizing this, coming at me and what you guys think I mean.
We're trying to prove a point from where we're standing. That's all I'm trying to do. That is my paycheck. I copied it. I'm not lying. I didn't make it up.
I'm not saying that.
But what I am saying, is that a livable wage? That's 2 weeks' worth of pay. I carry the health insurance for my family. You're right, I should go to another district, because obviously, that's where we're at.
No, so
And we're not trying to make it personal, we're trying to show a point, we're trying to prove a point. My point with copying my paycheck is to give you a visual. We keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. We are trying to give the visual of that's a no lie, that's it.
If I may, can I jump in here?
Absolutely.
So, thank you for this. And I think this speaks for itself, and I think we can speak on this. And since we're going really personal, I will add that my mom was in a very similar position. She worked for a different district, and she was what the title was, instructional assistant. And her paychecks looked really similar. We would laugh about it. And she's no longer with us. But I remember the plight that she went through. So this speaks for itself, and I think we can just leave it at that for now, okay?
Thank you.
So then
I'm
let's
sorry.
move forward and let's go over everything.
Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
So, the proposal in front of you is our package proposal. It is based on the district's package proposal. What we did was we cleaned up the proposal you had given us. The proposal you gave us had a couple repeats, like the sub-pay was in 2 different places. The building representative thing was in 2 different places. So we deleted that, the editorial marks. And then all of our changes to here otherwise are tracked in red. So I'll provide you both the tracked version and the clean version as a document, but everything in black is from the district May 20th. Everything in red is a change from the union. So I'll run through this. The places that there are no changes, I won't delve into. Please stop me and ask any questions. Number 1, no changes. Number 2, we would like to add in this counter that the district shall provide the union information, the right to meet with employees, and the right to hold orientation meetings with new employees pursuant to, it should not say with, MGL 150E5A. This is just confirming that the district will comply with the law. Number 3 is the same. Number 4 is the proposal regarding reimbursement for items that are broken in the course of duty. The district proposed just reimbursement for, quote, an unintended physical act from a student. We want to just expand that definition to other incident deriving from the staff member's regular work duties.
Can you define that?
Yes. So we think it's really difficult to ascribe intent, especially when we're talking about injuries, and especially when we're talking about dysregulated students. We're really concerned that this bar of an unintended physical act would mean that maybe if a student was getting aggressive and intended to be violent, that someone wouldn't get their item reimbursed. So, you know, if someone is doing their regular work and an item of theirs gets broken, whether it's a phone or sunglasses or whatever, they'll be reimbursed. This certainly does not include something like someone slips and drops their phone in the toilet. Like, that's not included at all.
So just to be, so when I read that, James,
Yeah.
I started thinking wear and tear on your shoes from being on your feet. So this is, my mind went 100 different.
Yeah, so we're
this
talking,
is
we're
just the
talking about
intent
an incident.
Incident, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep, this isn't
Okay.
like a employee
Okay.
garment
Gotcha.
owns. And then again, that you have the authority to reimburse the staff member based on fair market value. We would like to be able to grieve that clause if necessary. If the superintendent says that the fair market value of an iPhone is $10, we would like to grieve that to be able to say that's not true. But we don't really see any issue coming up with that. That's just more making sure that we have the ability to kind of go back and forth if necessary. Number 5 is regarding PPE. The district's proposal was that if it's provided, staff must wear PPE whenever working. Our proposed different wording is that when PPE is provided, staff are expected to wear said PPE when working with students in order to reduce the risk of injury. We trust an educator's discretion. We think that they should be encouraged to wear the PPE as much as possible. We don't want to open up discipline for someone who, takes off a chest guard to take a break. We want to avoid that. But otherwise, we agree that if someone's getting PPE, they should be wearing it. That's the whole point. Number 6 is the same as the district proposed. Number 7 is what the district proposed, that staff will accrue 15 days of sick leave over the course of the year. And we added to the end that the district may advance an employee their sick days based on need. However, should an employee terminate employment prior to the end of the school year, the district may recoup the value of any days advanced but not accrued. So, for example, Jonna's a new employee. She breaks her leg in the second week of school. She has no sick days available, so the district says, all right, we will advance you your 5 sick days for healing, and then you can come back. And then, as long as Jonna stays through the school year, that's just, she got her days advanced, it goes against her balance, then it's fine. If Jonna were to suddenly leave the district the week after, the district would have the right to sort of recoup those days that were advanced. We're trying to sort of split the difference here between making sure employees can use their day at the start of the year and the district's concern about some sort of sick leave abuse potential. This would really make it so that that's not possible. If someone uses their days in leave service, the district could recoup that cost. For number 8, sick leave bank, I'll just add for number 7 briefly that this kind of solution has been adopted by quite a few districts recently who are wondering the same thing. Going down to 8, the sick leave bank. We've made some modifications that are very similar to our last counter, which we provided last time. That the sick leave bank will be organized by DESPA, that people will automatically be enrolled in their second year, that members may donate up to 10 days to start. And Jonna, did you want to talk a little bit about why we wanted to have the organized by DESPA piece as opposed to organized by the district?
Sorry, just a quick question before I didn't mean to interrupt you. Are all of the changes to the sick bank the same as what you had last time? Did you say that, or are there?
They're
things-
similar. They're not the same.
They're
We
not the
adopted
same,
some
though.
of the
So there are
districts.
some other things that you changed from that to this one?
Yes, you had said that you weren't be responding to the.
No, I got you. I just didn't know. I was just trying to figure that out, that's all.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So what was your question?
This piece.
The 10, verse 5.
When we originally set up the, when we had gone back to when we had originally talked before the contract about setting up the sick bank I was told that this had to be organized and handled by DESPA. That the administration did not have any hand in it, that all of this fell on DESPA, that we controlled it. We decided they had to come to us, the executive board, and we handled it. I was told that the district had absolutely no hand in the sick bank. That was clearly stated to me. Nope, this is all on the union, on the DESPA.
So we've brought that back here. We've talked about this a few times. We've really tried to base this on the bargaining that happened over the last 2 years and then was never finalized. We want to continue with that. And for this, really the only place that the administration should have a particular interest in it is, moving on to the page 4, item K, that if for some reason the employer has issue with granting of sick leave to someone, that the employer may require a second opinion from an independent medical examiner. But beyond that, this should be within the purview of DESPA and within sort of the union's operations. And then the change in L is just wording. Number 9 is as the district proposed in their last package.
Oh, can you just give me a second to read
Sure.
through everything else? Sorry.
Can you identify things that are different from the last one that you guys made?
No. Because these are based off of your
Oh, I see what you're
package.
saying, yeah, right.
Because again, you had said that you wanted to
Yeah,
move
yeah.
through the packages,
Yep.
not from our counters.
Yep.
So we went off
I
of
got,
your
yep.
package.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome. I'll give you a second.
Thank you.
Are these extras?
Okay.
Sorry, that wasn't to you.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so number 9 is as the district proposed. Number 10 is as the district proposed. Number 11, 12, and 13 are as the district proposed. I left your strike-throughs in on number 12. Number 14, this is about the school year. So we've got 180 student days plus professional development days as necessary. And then we had discussed last time the need for sort of clarity around what training looked like in the summer. So in paragraph 3, our proposal is that job-specific training will be provided to members of DESPA the week preceding the start of the school year for 2 days. Staff will be informed of the dates and times of these trainings prior to June 10th of the preceding year, and staff who are hired mid-year will be provided relevant training as soon as possible. So if someone misses those 2 days, they need to get caught up when they get brought in to avoid the issues we were talking about earlier.
And are those mandatory or optional?
These would be mandatory days. Yep. Again, as much as we appreciate the desire to give people autonomy, if it's something critical, like CPI training, like bus safety training, like whatever is necessary, it should be mandatory and folks should be expected to be there.
And are those included in the 199 days?
Yep.
Okay.
15, this is the big change. This is the addition of 11 holidays above the prior, that staff will be paid for each of the holidays below over the course of the year. And should a holiday fall outside of a regular workday, staff shall be paid in the closest appropriate pay period. So we've got 5 fall holidays, 5 winter holidays, and then 8 spring holidays. And those are structured such that anytime where there is a week off of school, staff would get at least 3 paid days. So in February break, they would get MLK Day, President's Day, and the day after. In April break, they would get Good Friday, Patriots Day, and the day after.
Excuse me, James?
Yeah.
I thought maybe I misheard you. I thought you said 5 fall holidays. I just see 4 listed.
I just might not be able to count.
Yeah, I thought I had the same question.
4 fall holidays, thank you.
4, okay.
Yep.
I just didn't know which way, yeah.
Yeah, trust the
Okay, thank you.
paper,
Yep.
not my words.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, the idea is to spread out these guaranteed holidays to stick with the district's desire to not formally annualize the wages, but also ensure that people aren't getting these $200 paychecks. Right. Yeah. For number 16, we are agreeing with the district sort of general idea that people give notice of the degree prior, or for January 1 of the preceding year. But for next year, for the 2024 to 2025 school year, staff shall inform the superintendent's office no later than September 1 of 2024. So if we're adding new degree columns, we want staff to be able to access them next year. And if this gets ratified, we would expect people to tell the district as soon as possible if they'd fall into a new pay scale. For longevity, we're making a small adjustment. We're proposing adding a 10-year longevity step. So instead of beginning at 15, starting at 10, with $450 at 10 years, $650 at 15 years, $850 at 20 years, and $1,250 at 25 years. For number 17, the time increments, our big proposal on this continues to be for substituting. And one of the things that has come up repeatedly in the last few weeks is that not only is substituting often just sort of difficult for staff because they're pulled out of their regular assignments, we've had a lot of reports of people who are in classes where a day sub has been hired, but the day sub doesn't know the students, doesn't know the curriculum, and so the DESPA member is essentially acting as the teacher, but not getting paid for it. They're delivering the lesson, they're interacting with the students, they're supporting the substitute teacher, but they're only getting maybe the $20 a day. So the proposal here is that if a member covers for a teacher or for a class for 30 minutes or more, they'll be compensated at an additional $12 per hour. And clarifying that creating curriculum and assessments are not a substitute's duties. This is obviously still, we're pretty far apart on this. The district's last proposal was $5.71 an hour, ours is $12. But again, this is really indicative of the fact that for the most part, we're getting reports of people not just stepping into sub for 30 or 40 minutes for an IEP meeting, but stepping in to really act as a sub for a whole day, whether or not a day substitute is in the classroom. I don't know if anybody on the table wants to add to that.
I think, yeah,
Okay.
I think you covered it.
Okay. 18 is the same as the district proposal. 19 is just discussing our wage proposal further, that it was equivalent to your proposal with 4% to the FY25. And that again, the addition of the PD days and the holidays and the adjustment still really brings top step paras into the low 30s by FY27. It would be a great increase, and it is also significantly lower than we were originally aiming for. And as you will notice in this, if the district accepts this package, we're also dropping a significant amount of the health and safety proposals that we put out there, in addition to some others. The hope is that, despite the fact that we've got sort of emotional about it at various points, like, it is true that the district has made a lot of positive changes regarding health and safety this year outside of the contract. And the hope is that if we can get people compensated better and make big strides in that direction, the district can continue next year to continue supporting staff, and folks can feel better with language about PPE and injury reporting, and we'll be able to keep moving on and supporting all the students.
The health and safety hasn't gone away. It's still there. It's just that obviously we can't come to a common ground on it. So I feel that the health and safety maybe needs to be taken out of the contract, but it still needs to be addressed. It needs to be some kind of meeting protocol or something, because I don't feel that we've gotten to where we need to be with it.
And that's it. The last one's just the duration clause, which should now match the expiration date on the current contract.
I just say thank you for putting the work into this.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's obviously a
good.
good amount of work,
Thank
so I appreciate the package. Moving, getting some momentum here, so We need a caucus.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right, we'll text you.
Yeah, I'll let you know. You got-
Thank
You
you.
have better reception than me? Okay.
Heather, we'll taking a break, caucus.
Thank you
All right, hi Heather, do we have you here? Make sure you can hear
I'm
us.
here.
Okay, so we're back in session. We're back from caucus at 6:05.
Thank you. So thank you for the caucus. Thank you for the proposal. The sort of unanimous reaction here was just wanting to thank you and a real positive feeling about the proposal because it was clear that you guys did a lot of work. There's a lot in here that we can work with, I think, in terms of language. It was hard to go through, given the time, to say, proposal by proposal. What we need to do is look at the costing of the proposal in order to be able to respond. So what we'd like to do is be prepared for the next time with a counter package proposal that just addresses everything that's in your package proposal, as well as a counter on the salary aspect of it. So we'll be prepared to do that. We just can't do it tonight because we don't have enough time. We've got to take the time to go through it and cost it out. But really, thank you. I mean, it's clear that we're making, you made some real significant movement and we want to build on that. So in part with that, another thing that we talked about was we've got another meeting on the 13th, I think. Can we schedule a meeting after that, hope we can maybe get this done? Assuming we aren't able to at the next meeting, could we get another one on the books?
I don't think we can. The next week is that.
I know it gets
last
tough.
week. Yeah. We can look into our schedules, but originally we didn't think that we could do anything after
Yeah.
the 13th. The 13th was already looking at sort of as far as we could go.
Yeah.
But, with the package, if you all want to send it to the team in advance of the next session, if you want us to review it 24 or 48 hours in advance so that we can come with a response. If we're building off of the same sort of framework now, the numbers are going to sort of speak for themselves in there. So that might be the best way to do it. Otherwise, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to meet again until August.
Okay. The problem on our end is just timing, in the sense of scheduling meetings, et cetera, so. if we
Yeah,
can,
same here.
Yeah. But if we can get something ahead of time to you, we'll do so.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, I'll just reiterate that one of the really key things that we tried to solve in this was this idea of fixing the $200 paychecks, right? And if the district isn't interested in annualizing the holidays are one way to do it. If you have another idea, we're willing to listen to it. But that is really critical. That was kind of a big part of our caucus, was just talking about how stressful it is for members to play the guessing game with their paychecks. So that really is something that we're looking to get fixed in here. Of course, with everything else, but hopefully we've given you enough to work with there. And again, I'll send you the virtual copies of ours, and if you can, send us something in advance of the 13th, and we're hoping to have we already have about half the unit here. We're hoping to have more next session, so we'll be able to give you real quick, good feedback with whatever you guys come up with.
Cool, great.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure. Of
And
course.
if this is possible, or if we have to stick to the 2-hour time limit, but just in case, could we plan on all being here a little longer on the 13th? If that works, I mean, I know that we all have lives, but
Well,
we want to make it work, right?
13th also happens to be the middle school field day.
Oh,
So
okay,
I'll
so
be
that'll be
standing
a-
outside all day and probably
Hydrate.
hosting.
Yeah, because we're scheduled 4 to 6 on the 13th.
Yeah, I mean, just in case we're close, we don't want to have to just stop.
Fine with me.
Yeah. Can you guys start early? You're suggesting an earlier start or just remain?
Later, Pat.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can give it a shot.
Still 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
Just a plan, keep it flexible, so in case we're
Keep it
late,
open.
our families are prepared.
Lauren, have you posted that meeting yet? Have you posted that meeting for
The 13th?
the 13th?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. All right.
All right, go Celts.
Thanks so
All right,
much,
thank you, guys.
everybody.
Thank you.
You need to close the meeting.
Oh, I got to close the meeting. Hey, anybody want to make a motion? Do we have to make a motion, Heather? Or just a roll call
I make a
vote?
motion to adjourn the DESPA School Committee session on June 4th at 6:10 PM.
I'll second that, and a roll call vote.
Heather Moore and I.
Julia Lagerholm, aye. Thank you.
Thank you.